Hey everyone, Happy New Year. This Afolabi here. I hope you had a great Christmas and you started your new year already, and I think you're up and running and you're crushing it. I want to wish you a really great uh, happy selling this year. It's my goal that this year will be better than last year. So we're going to be touching about so many things this year. I have a lot of stuff in stock for you this year. So much content, so much stuff we're going to be going over this year. But recapping on last year, we did a lot of content. Go to our YouTube page to see all the things we put out. I'm also coming out, unless in case you don't know, I'm also coming out with a sourcing mastery training, which you can give to your VA or you can watch the training by yourself. It's almost done. It's taking us longer than I thought. I didn't know, like, putting up a training program. I made it really comprehensive, and I didn't realize it was going to take that long of a time. So for my students, we're getting there. So some of the things I'm going to share today is actually an excerpt from the sourcing mastery training course that I've put together. So some of the tips and tricks that I use when I'm sourcing, when I'm using Alibaba. People say I use Alibaba a little differently than other people. It's okay. So I'll just give you a sneak a preview of how I look for suppliers. I know a lot of people have posted a lot of questions about me showing how I find my suppliers. I mean, I've been blessed to have a lot of great suppliers, to have worked with some really cool suppliers in China, in different parts in the US here, different parts of the world. So I'm going to share tips and trick with you on how I found them, how I found great products, and how I found great suppliers. You will see that it's no brainer. It's not rocket science. You just have to follow a certain formula. You follow a certain process. Let's put it that way. You got to follow a certain process in drilling down uh, and filtering on Alibaba. And I do know there are some suppliers that I found that I didn't find on Alibaba. Okay, so I call them the ghost suppliers. So that's like another level deep of how I find suppliers that are not on Alibaba, or even if they're on Alibaba, there are ways that I contact them. That's not the goal of today's podcast. You will find that in my training course on sourcing, because it's a hush hush. It's like very secret way that I do stuff. So anyway, let's go into what I have for you guys today. Remember, we're going to have questions and answers at the very end of the podcast. I'm going to go through some slides, and if we have time, I'll probably do a demo, maybe one demo on Alibaba on how I will search for stuff, right? But before you jump on Alibaba to search for anything, you have to know these 7 things that I'm about to show you. Once you have these 7 things at the back of your mind, or you have gone through these 7 steps, then finding a supplier on Alibaba will be very easy for you. All right, it will be very easy for you. So, all right, Kels, I can share my screen, and then let's go for it. All right, let's go for it. So, ta-da! Let's go. Okay. So how to source great products in 3 days or less. I know a lot of people talk about, spending so much time in finding supplier, or some people complain, I just can't find the right supplier. I just don't know, what I'm doing wrong or whatever, well, you've come to the right place. Um, the bulk of the work in finding a good supplier and great products are in your preparation stage. It's how you prepare before you search, right? Some people just go on Alibaba and just start searching. That's the long way to do it. Your prep work is the most important thing, okay? And I'll show you just a bit. So this 3-day process assumes you already know which product you want to source. You must know what you want to source, right? So the number one step you have to go through is to make up your mind before you start. Make up your mind what you really are going to source. No, don't just keep going around, clicking around, messing around with different products. Well, that means you haven't made up your mind yet. You haven't zeroed down on the exact product you really, really want. You have to know that. If you're going for a phone case, know you're going for a phone case. If you're going for a blue uh, twisted phone case, know that that's what you're going for. Okay, that's what you're going for, and don't deviate from it. The more you are undecisive, the longer your sourcing process will take. And I've gone through sourcing processes that take 10 days, 3 days, 2 days, and I've gone through ones that took a year. And the main difference is because the, the the customer didn't make up his mind. Every little shiny object is jumping around. Oh, I think we should be able to do that. Oh, I want my product to be able to do that. But well, at the beginning, that wasn't what you wanted to do. You just got sidetracked, or you started adding more to your product features, and that would delay things. That will really delay things. So number one, you should make up your mind before you start. Number two, you should know what type of suppliers you want. Somebody's like, what do I mean? What kind of suppliers do I want? How do I know what? I don't know what supplier. I just want a supplier that sells the kind of products I'm looking for. Well, you're going to be in for a rude awakening if you don't know what kind of suppliers you want. For example, uh, there are different types of suppliers in China, for example. There could be low quality product suppliers, there will be medium quality suppliers, and there will be a premium quality supplier. There is a trading company, there is a broker, um, there is also a crappy, uh, how do a crappy quality supplier, let me call it that way. These are suppliers that they don't really care. They're very transactional. They don't care about relationships. They don't care about building long-term relationships. They just want to sell you stuff and move on to the next person. You should stay away from all these crappy suppliers. If your product is going to be sold at a premium, then you must go with a premium supplier. Their prices may be higher, but you will see from the quality will be impeccable, will be so good, right? Don't be afraid to spend more for good quality products. If you're going for premium, then go for these premium suppliers. If you're going for cheap stuff, you want to sell it on the dollar store, or you just want to sell cheap stuff that disposable stuff like people buy at gas stations, right? I used to have a friend that sell products in gas stations. So, he told me that some of these product like sunglasses, you wear it for 2 3 days and people just throw it out. They're more of disposable products, so you really need to know your product and your suppliers, because not all suppliers are the same. Also, the suppliers that are selling more to uh, underdeveloped countries, like or developing countries, they are not the same supplier that should be selling to advanced developed nations. Like if a supplier, if you need your product in Kazakhstan, or you need your product in Burundi or Djibouti, or you need your product somewhere that, quality, it's all about price. Your customers are very price sensitive because these nations are poor and they can only afford, you know, they have a price ceiling. Then you have to go to a supplier that is experienced in making products of that quality. But if you want to sell in the US and you're targeting more of a affluent in the US, then you should go for a good supplier that would make it worth it. So these are the things you're looking for in a supplier. Remember, we are going to do a quick demo, but before we do your demo, these are the things we should make up, we should do first, right? So are you looking for an OEM supplier or an ODM supplier? An OEM supplier is just original equipment manufacturer, which is the suppliers that can make a private label for you. They already have products and they can put your logo on it. They can customize it to you by just printing a box that is with your artwork or your logo, or they can screen print on your on the product for you, right? And then we have the ODM suppliers, original design manufacturer. So these ones are suppliers that can make your own design, like you're going to change the structure of a product. Let's say a product you were looking for, the supplier only has it in a round shape, but you want yours to be a square shape, right? You need an ODM supplier that would help you create a mold, help you create your own unique design for your product. So when you're searching, make sure that you are using a filter of ODM or OEM suppliers, okay? All right, the second thing you have to know in your supplier is years of experience, right? I typically like to deal with suppliers that have been in business at least 5 years, preferably 10 to 15 years. The longer of years they've been in business, the better. That means they're very experienced. That means they are possibly a big factory, so a factory that I can grow into, right? You don't want a supplier that the moment you start hitting 2,000 units a month or 3,000 units a month, they're maxed out. They cannot grow with you. Unfortunately, that's not the kind of supplier you need. You need a robust a supplier that can handle hundreds of thousands of units, right? So that this matters, it matters a lot. That's why, you know, people source products anyhow, and in a year or two, a year or 2 years later, they're looking for another supplier. I'm like, why? Because, well, my supplier is too small. The orders are taking so long for him to do for me now. So I need a new supplier, or I need a backup supplier, or I need a complementary supplier just to add to whatever I'm doing right now, right? It's because this supplier is small, right? It's small. It's not. It's good for startups, or it's good for low quantity orders, right? You can't really use him for large quantities. All right. The next one is you need a supplier that is totally focused, not jack of all trade. If you go to a supplier's website and you see you see him selling 80, 90 different products, know that he's not a supplier. He's just a middleman, he's just a broker. And if you buy something from him, it might not guarantee that he will be able to supply you, it will continue to supply you the same product in the future, because he's not the manufacturer, he's not a supplier, he's a source, but not the source, not the supplier, not the factory. Okay, so you need a supplier that is totally focused. If you're looking to buy sunglasses, you buy from a sunglasses factory. You don't buy from a factory or somebody that posts that they're a factory, but they're selling sunglasses, they're selling face masks, they're selling books, they're selling keyboards, they're selling mouse, they're selling all manner of things, right? You have to stay away from those kind of people unless you want to be a wholesaler. So in my sourcing mastery training course that is going to come out soon, I have a section for wholesalers. I have a section for wholesalers whereby um, if you are a wholesaler and you just want to buy a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, a little of that, then you can go to this kind of people because they've already pre-sourced everything for you, and you just want to buy 10 of these, 5 of these, 4 of that, then that's totally fine, right? Then that's the kind of supplier you need. Okay. All right. Um, we talked about years in business. You have to know the years in business is different from years of experience. Years of experience just means this factory has been around for a long time, right? Uh, uh, yeah. Years of experience just means they've been making this kind of product for a long time. Years of business just means they've been in business for a long time. They might not be, they might not be experienced in making that product for that long, right? But they've been in business for a long time. So maybe the business have shifted over the years. So years of business or years in business is very important as well. I like to deal with suppliers that have large businesses, large buildings, large factories, very modern factories. One of my suppliers in Shanghai, really, really massive buildings he has, and they're brand new and it keeps on expanding and improving. That means business is doing good, right? All right. Another thing you're looking for in a supplier is the annual transaction amount, right? You want a supplier that has been dealing with millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. That means he has a really good financial base. Uh, I've had horror stories. It's happened to me before that. Let me give you a story. So I bought this product 2 years ago, or last year, I think 2 years ago. Bought this product. I've been buying it from this same supplier. I didn't realize it was a small supplier. Uh, so I bought a full container of a product, and my container was stopped at the U.S. border, and they were asking me the U.S. border, uh, uh, you know, customs were asking me to provide them some certificate of authenticity of some of the parts inside the product. And I reached out to my supplier. He started giving me fake versions of these certificates. After a while, he stopped talking to me. He never replied anymore. And then one of his sales rep replied me. He's like, "Yeah, we're a very small company. This this transaction will hurt and close will hurt our business so much that we can shut down." So you know the supplier actually shut down their business over one container, over something that went bad for one container. That tells you this supply is very small and they don't have the financial base to help you if they ever get into trouble. They don't have the financial base to replace an existing order because they were supposed to replace this full container for me because it was their fault. But they ran away and they never got back to me anymore. I'd also heard another story. This supplier got the raw materials, got paid 30%, got the raw materials, and then the raw materials, there was rain, and I think the factory's windows or the factory's roof is not good, and the rain fell and came on on top of the raw materials that they were preparing to make the production with, and the raw materials got ruined. The raw materials got ruined. So the supplier ran away. It's like, this will crush us. It was a less than $3,000 deposit. will crush you, then you're a really, really bad supplier and you're a really, really small one. So I've learned in a hard way to only deal with suppliers with very large annual transaction, a supplier that has enough banking backbone, that can support large orders. God forbid you give him an order of $50,000 and he messes it up. Are you going to travel to China looking for him in his village? Right? So it's very important. I know we want to do sourcing, but look, all these little details, I've been doing this for more than 20 years. If you don't want to lose your shirt, these are the things you have to cross and check very well before you pick a final supplier. You need to know all these things. All right. So another thing to look for in a supplier is the certifications. Are you making children's product? Is your supplier, does he have the certification to even make children's product? Does he have the CPSIA, all those, ASTM testing, all those things, is he aware of that? Can he provide all those things for you? You've got to be sure of all these things, right? And it will be listed on Alibaba if your supplier can do all these things, right? All right. The next thing is countries of export. If you're bringing a product into the US, you need to make sure your supplier has sold into the US before, or he has an export license to export into the US. If not, he's going to get stuck and you are going to get stuck. It's going to make a China standard for you instead of a US standard. If you're exporting to Europe, you have to deal with suppliers that have experience making European standards, making products according to European standards. You have to check on that. And I'll show you how to check all these things when you're sourcing for them. The next one is your trade assurance coverage amount. Um, when you're dealing with a supplier, you need to check how much trade assurance coverage he has. I was trying to buy a product from a supplier recently, and I found out that the trade assurance coverage he has was $18,000, and the order was over $120,000. How in the world is he going to protect my money if anything goes wrong? How would I get my money back from Alibaba? Alibaba will only cover up to $18,000, and this order is 100,000, 120,000. So that means if something goes wrong, I'm going to be out 100,000. I'm going to lose my customers' money if I had to deal with this kind of supply. So I told them, no, no, I'm not doing it. Because if something goes down, you're going down with it. Your supplier will go pick up and run away, change his city, relocate to another city, change his business, file for bankruptcy in China. It's very, very hard to file legal claims in China. The Chinese government, the Chinese law is written to protect its citizens. So it's going to be very difficult for you to get anything. Very difficult. All right. The last one on my list is customer reviews. There are places on Alibaba now that you can read customer reviews on the product or a supplier. Uh, that would be another good idea to do when you are looking for products and sourcing suppliers, right? Okay, number three, we're gonna go really down so we can go into the demo and then do question and answer. In case you guys have. Remember, this is the first one of the year. I want to wish you Happy New Year again, and I hope that you're enjoying it. You can write comments, you can forward this to other people, you can share this. Okay, we're going to have these slides available to you as well. All right, number three is you have to know what product quality you want. I know I touched on that. Are you looking for a medium quality product, or you're looking for premium? Are you looking for crappy, really cheap stuff, or you're looking for really high-end stuff, right? A crappy, or I call it a C grade supplier will never make an A grade product. Do not try to make a C grade supplier make an A grade product. It's not going to happen. Don't try it. Don't say, oh, here is a premium product, but because this supplier is very cheap or this his prices are really small, are really affordable, let me give him a premium product to make. He's not going to be able to do it. It doesn't have the capacity, it doesn't have the skill set and the kind of workers, it doesn't have the process in place to make really, really high end premium quality stuff. It's going to mess it up big time. Okay. For premium quality, go for premium quality suppliers. For low quality, go for low quality suppliers. For medium quality, go for medium quality suppliers. You will always get what you pay for anywhere in the world, right? Number four, get your spec sheets ready. So if you're going to, before you send your first message to any supplier, these are all the things you should get ready. Have your spec sheet ready, right? Some people have to use tech pack. If you're doing fashion, you have to use tech pack. That means you have to, have a detailed sheet listing every feature of your product. If it's going to have two seams in the shoulder, the kind of stitches you want in the shoulder, you know, how, how long it is in the back, how wide is it? All those details have to be in your spec sheet. Pictures speak louder than words, right? If you show them pictures, if you show them a spec sheet that is already all spelled out, your suppliers are going to love it. You're going to see how your sourcing will go really fast. You can get all these things done and make up your mind for a supplier within 3 days. It's possible. All right, so these are the things you would be putting into your spec sheet. Your design or your drawing or your sketch. You have to list out all the changes you're requiring in the product. Let's say you have a product a similar product that you're looking to make something from. You need to tell your supplier, oh, I like this product, but these are my changes. These are the changes I want in the product, okay? And then the URL links of similar products. You can go on Amazon, you can go on eBay, wherever you can get similar products and just send photos or links. You have to have photo references of the products. If you see, a feature in another product that you really like, you can just say, "Oh, look," and circle it, and just say, "Look, this area, you know, I want mine to be different, or I want a copy from this product. I like how this product look here, and I want to grab it, and I want to add it to my own product," right? You have to have material type all sorted out. Are you going to use leather? Are you using Nubuck? Are you using plastic? Are you using glass? Are you using steel? Are you using tin, composite, PVC? What material do you want to use? You have to spell all that out. If not, you're going to have a lot of back and forth with your suppliers before you even get anything done. An average sourcing project can take between 20 conversations to almost 600 conversations. You don't want to be the one that would do the 600 plus conversations. You want to keep it under 10 back and forth conversations. Keep it under 10. If you're able to put this, if you're able to define this and put this from the get-go, you will see that your sourcing will be so quick. I guarantee you it will be really quick, right? Okay, so your artwork, your logo, the size of your logo, from the right to the left to the, in those days they used to call it your camera ready logo. But now, so you just have to have your logo, your artwork for your box, for your packaging, the logo that is going on the on the product? Do you want it to be screen printed, or do you want it to be embossed? Do you want it to be embroidered? Do you want it to be laser, printed? Do you want it to be laser etched? You've got to be really, you have to know what you want. You may not know the name of the process of applying that logo, but you just have a photo reference. You just get your photo reference ready to show to your supplier, so that when he sees it, he knows he knows what it is. He knows the application method of your logo or your artwork, right? He knows it. So it's going to be like, oh, I know what you're trying to do. We can do that for you. All right. Get your barcodes ready, the barcode placement on your box, on your logo, wherever. Get it ready. Packaging type. Do you want cloth? Do you want jute bag? Do you want corrugated boxes? Do you want, plastic boxes? What do you want? What are the dimensions? Do you even have an artwork ready? All these things will shorten your time of sourcing. What other accessories do you want to include, right, in your product? You have to know. The case letterings on your cartons, you have to be prepared for that. Okay, if not, you're going to be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with your supplier or your sourcing agent. And this will take you a lot of time. All right, let's go to number 5. We're almost there. You got to be real with your price target. So if a product is supposed to be $5, you don't expect to get it for $3. I see a lot of people coming to us. Oh, I'm getting my product for $3.50, and my goal is to get it for $2. Hmm. Unless you were buying from either a sourcing agent before or a trading company, you wouldn't be able to get that kind of significant reduction in price. That's just too much. If you were buying at 350 and you want to get it to 295, yeah, that's possible. That's realistic. But don't come, you're buying it for $3 and you want to buy it for $1. It's not going to happen. Well, maybe it would happen if you go to a crappy supplier and they're going to sell you a ton of crap, and you get what you pay for. Okay, so be real with your price. Be very realistic with your price, and don't try to beat your supplier up. That is not going to make any money. Your supplier is in this to make money. He has employees. He has buildings. He has his family. He has a lot of expenses in that factory. So he's in it to make money. Look at it as a partnership. It's a partnership. You're about to enter a partnership with a supplier. That's what it is, guys. That's what it is. Okay. So be real with your target price. Number 6, review your supplier samples via photo and video. So when you're sourcing, remember we want to get it in 3 days or less. Let's say you send an inquiry to a bunch of suppliers and they reply you, right? Before you receive a physical sample, or before you ask them to send their physical sample to you, wherever you are, whether you're in Europe or you're in the US or wherever you are, in Africa, Middle East, before you get samples from your suppliers, just ask them to take a photo or do a video, 360 video of the sample in their hands, or just take photos of the samples and email it to you or text it to you. From the photos and videos, you can see a lot. You can see a lot whether the sample is good or not. Because if you tell them to send you samples that you haven't seen photos or videos of, and the samples get to you, first you pay 50, 60, sometimes $100 just to get the samples to you shipped to you. And then you find out the samples are trashy. They're just scrap. They're nothing. They're no good. That means you wasted a lot of money. You wasted a lot of time. You don't want to do that, right? These are really simple things, but they are the simple things that save you a lot of time when you're sourcing products. A lot of time, a lot of money. They're simple, but they're very essential. They're very important for us to have a really, really good source. Unless you like wasting time and just spending your time, over things that you shouldn't be spending them on, right? Number seven, avoid premature price negotiations. I see rookie sourcing people, they they get prices from the supplier. They send inquiries out, and some suppliers are replying them and giving them the prices, and they keep negotiating prices. Oh no, you know your price is $62, or your price is $5. No, I want to, how about $4? You've not even seen the samples yet. You haven't seen what they've done yet. You haven't examined their products yet. You haven't invested your time. You have not proved to them that you're serious. They might look at you like you're not a serious buyer either. So you have to you have to prove yourself first before going into price negotiations. If you start negotiating prices from the very beginning, I guarantee you 9.9 out of 10 times you would lose on that price negotiations, because you you you, you haven't invested time, and the supplier himself hasn't invested time into this process for you. Yeah, he has not invested any time in this relationship. You have not struck any relationship with the supplier. They don't know who you are. You don't know who they are. They don't know if you're going to buy. If they approve your price, there's no guarantee that you're going to buy. So why not wait till the very end before you start doing price negotiations? I do a lot of, in my sourcing, sourcing mastery course coming out soon. We went through a lot of price negotiations tricks that I use, and it works all the time. So once this course is out, I'm going to make a big announcements on it, and you can check it out and get it for your VA, get it for yourself, get it for someone you love, get it for somebody that wants to go into e-commerce. All right. Okay. All right. So let's do some demos, right? Let's do some demo. That means I'm going to stop sharing these skills, and we're going to do, find some product on Amazon. So let's do another share. Ta-da, ta-da. Let's share screen, share screen. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, cool. So I found this product on Amazon. It is gold, or a gold candle holder. Like, if you take a look, I'm gonna blow it up a little bit so you can see what kind of product it is. You see, I think it looks really cool. If this is your product, I'm so sorry that I'm using it as a guinea pig on how I would source a product like this. My apologies. I don't know the owner of this product. I just saw it on Amazon and it looks cool. And I want to show people the fastest way to source this if you want to be selling it. Sorry if you're the owner. All right. So what I do is, when I see a product that I want to source, right, and I really want to do it real fast, so I go to the product page, I click on the main image with the white background, and I'm going to save the image on my desktop, whatever you want to call it. So I save the image, and then I will go to Alibaba to source it. I still like Alibaba better because they've just done a lot of good improvements on it, and I have been to their offices several times. They're really, really a cool company. So I enjoyed working with them. I did work with them on some stuff on their website. So I really like it. I like them. Very good company. They are improving every day. And I'll show you some cool stuff that they have, right? If you've not used it before, some people are pros already, they've used this before, but if you haven't used it before, It's going to be something really new and something really cool. So let's go to Alibaba now to see these. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing on Amazon, and I'm going to start sharing the Alibaba page. Share. Mm, who knows how the best way to even pronounce that Alibaba? Some people say Alibaba, some people say Alibaba, and some people say Alibaba. I don't know which one is the best way, but whichever way you like to call it, who cares? Let's just source up. Okay, now you're seeing my page. How I'm going to source the candle stand is you could either go here and just say gold, candle stands, and then you click, search, and it's going to give you how many results. Let's see how many results it gave us. Look here, in China, it gave us 3,118 results from China alone. From India, 868, Japan, 6. So it's going to take me a long time to actually keep scrolling, because see, Alibaba doesn't know exactly what kind of candle stands I'm looking for. It just knows that I'm looking for candle stand. So I'm going to keep scrolling. That's a waste of my time. I don't want to stay here scrolling through 3,000 listings on Alibaba. It's got to be a better way. There's got to be a faster way to do that. Of course, yes, there is a faster way to do it. I got a notification some years back when Alibaba introduced this image search, and I really liked it. I was like, guys, that was a really cool feature. So what I'll just do is just click on this search by image instead of using my keywords, because this keyword is too generic and is bringing out too many search results. So I'd rather use my image to search, right? So I'll say search by image, and then I'll upload image, and I'll grab my image that I saved on my computer from Amazon, remember? And I'm going to drop it right here. So when I dropped it right there, you see that it gave me something similar. Something similar. Actually, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. So instead of filtering through gazillion images, listings like before, the moment I dropped in my images, it kind of filtered it for me and went straight to the point, right? I did something again. Even from this, I'm going to drop in the image again. Even from this search result, I think I did it and it gave me some really weird stuff, some really cool stuff, actually. Ah, magic. Did you guys see what I did? So I did the first image search, uploading this image right here. And then it gave me some list, but it wasn't 100% accurate. It was okay, but I re-uploaded from the search result. I re-uploaded that image again. I did another image search, so that would be double image search, double level image searches, and then it gave me exactly. It filtered it further for me to give me exactly what I'm looking for. That's a really good hack there, guys. If you really want to note that down, I use it all the time. It works. It works. That's why I wanted to show you that you could do image searches twice. You do the first one, it would be like 60, 50, 60% accurate to show you the to match the products for you. But if you do it the next time, the second time, it will filter it even further, right? So this is my product. These are my products here. Now that I have all these these suppliers, these listings, right? As I'm scrolling, at least it's no longer 3,100 listings anymore. So how do I pick my supplier? Remember, I said I don't like to deal with this 1 year thing. It's just like some kid in his basement or in his apartment in China that floated this kind of thing. It's 1 year. Look, it's a trading company. It's a trading company. That means this guy, if you ever order from him, it could take your money and run. Like 1 2 years, and they're using low prices to attract you. They want you to click. That's why they're putting seriously low prices here. I'm going to stay away from all that. I'm looking for companies with at least 5 years. So look at this one. It has 8 years. It's been around for 8 years, and it has, look at this badge. That means it has trade assurance on it, right? And I'm going to keep scrolling. So this is a good candidate for me. I'm going to keep scrolling. Look at this guy, 12 years. This is a good candidate for me, right? I keep scrolling. This is bad. 1 year, I don't deal with those kind of people. 2 years, I don't. 10, 15 years, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But look at this guy. It says 15 years. But look at the name of his company, Yiwu Microstar Commodities. When you see commodities, that means he's a jack of all trade. You stay away. He's been in business for 15 years, but he is not a factory. I can tell. I'm curious. Let's see. I'm going to click on him, right? And I'm going to see whether I'm right or wrong. So let me continue to share. I'll stop sharing this one and I'll start sharing the other one. So they can see that Yiwu Commodities guy that I'm suspecting that he's not a he's not a factory, even though he's been around for 15 years. I don't think he's a I don't think he's I don't think he's let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to find his the tab. So it's the tab. That's the fourth tab. Okay, let's go to the fourth tab. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it this one? Let's see. Yeah, this is it. So remember, we saw commodities in his name, right? Look when I clicked on that name, look what I found. See, I told you. He's a jack of all trade. See all the things he's selling? I'm looking for a candle supplier. Somebody that makes candlestick or candle stands. Look at what I'm seeing in his homepage. Look at all these product categories. See, it sells party supply, it sells religious supply, Halloween, fashion, jewelry, lighting, packaging and storage, promotional kitchen. If you're a wholesaler, remember I said it. If you're a wholesaler, this might work for you. This might be the kind of person you're looking for. He has what we call tchotchkes. He has all these uh, 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 little things you can buy and sell, or if you want to test the market with some little stuff, you could come to this kind of guy and just buy suit. Look, minimum pieces, minimum orders is 5 pieces, right? You can buy 5 pieces of this, 10 pieces of that. If you're arbitrage or if you want to just have gazillion SKUs in your store, this would be the right place to come to. But if I want to buy the candle stand and I want to do a private label for a candle stand, this is not my guy. This is not my guy, right? If I want to do a custom made candle stand, that my candle stand will be a little different. It will be square instead of round, like we were looking at. This is not the kind of supplier I'm going to come for. He's not a supplier. This is just a commodities trading company. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our search. We're almost done. Ooh, we have a few minutes left to go. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to share one you guys before we go. Okay. All right. One last thing, guys. One last thing. Okay. So let's share this one real quick. Okay. Is it this one? Okay. All right. So, guys, you can see this. Okay. Okay. All right. You see this guy? Okay. So let's say it has 8 years, right? It even has patents awarded. It has global export. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry. So you can see it has all the 512 square meters of space. It has the response time of less than 10 hours. It has 40 transactions of 130,000 plus. He welcomes inspectors and quality control people to come and check him out. So that's really good. You see all this really cool stuff about him. You can buy samples. He has a refund policy. He's protected by trade assurance. So that means if you buy something from him, you know that Alibaba will cover you.
Shenzhen Ebon Industrial Company Limited is a professional supplier.
He even has a video. All right. So let's contact the supplier. Let's contact the supplier real quick. Let's pretend like we want to contact. Oh, he wants me to sign in. Okay. One last thing that I wanted to show you guys how to contact the supplier. You just click the contact, you click the contact supplier. You can contact like 10, 15 different suppliers from the display page that meets your criteria. But I want to go through what I send to suppliers. Remember, the goal is to, okay. Let me show you what I send to suppliers. Okay. Okay. So after our demos, we used filter. This is the magic script. I have several magic scripts that I send to suppliers, but I just want to go through this magic script with you guys so that you can get everything. When you send an inquiry with this script that I'm about to show you, you have almost all your questions answered in one shot. All right. So you say, dear sir, we're US. If you're based in Europe, you say you're a European based retailer. Tell them about your business. You're selling kitchen product. This is just an example. We're interested in buying OEM. So I'm using some code words. When the supplier sees OEM, he knows you're experienced. Gives him a feeling that you're an experienced buyer, because only an experienced buyer will use the word OEM if you want to make a private label product. So we're interested in buying OEM of your silicone spatula or your candlestick or candle stand. I have attached some photos of the type we're looking to buy. So make sure you attach. There's a place on Alibaba you can attach images and videos and stuff. And look at the questions I asked him. Can you make this with our own logo on the product and on the box packaging? Can you make it in a different color? You have to specify what color you want him to make it in. Can you make it according to our size? You have to let them know if it's a bigger size or a smaller size. Can you make this in a different material? You have to specify whether you're looking for PVC or you're looking for glass or you're looking for plastic. then how many days it will take to make 500, or you can say 5,000 or 10,000 pieces. Usually I like to aim high. I like to, if I want to, I like to aim for 5,000, 10,000 pieces so I can get a better pricing. Number six, do you have samples you can send to us so we can test before we place our order? What's your X work price? Do you currently sell to the US, or specify your country? I prefer using the US or European market. If you use any other developing country or developing, like an African country, or like maybe Southeast, or some countries that are not so popular, or that are categorized as underdeveloped or developing, uh, the supplier will know where you're going to send it to, and it would make you crappy products, because he already thinks in his head that people from those countries, they don't mind the quality, they just want a low priced product. Do you own a trading company that currently sells this product online? I'll await your reply soon. And then you put your initials and then your company name, right? I went deeper into the psychology of using this script in my training course. There's no time for us to dive into it. Every single line of words that I put here, there's a reason why it's all there. All right. So, guys, let's go for question and answer. Unfortunately, our time is up for today. Kels, do we have any?
Sure do.
So let me just grab a couple. All right, first one from Maruzi. Actually, this was before you showed the product, but he was, Maruzi's asking, planning to source candles from China. Does the packaging require warning labels? Thanks.
Yes. If you're sourcing candles from China, I would uh, I would be very, 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 very careful, Maruzi, uh, on all the labels, and all the labels you put on your candles. Um, are these soy wax candles, Maruzi? Do we know if these are soy waxed? Is it a candle that you put essential oils in it? What kind of candles? There are different kinds of candles, Maruzi. But to answer your question, you would put warning labels on the packaging as well. Warning labels uh, could be flammability. It could be if your candle is wrapped in a clear plastic, you have to put a suffocation warning on that as well. Um, I would say you buy your competitor's products, or somebody that is doing so well on Amazon. It says it's tea light and soy wax. Okay, I can see. All right, so it's a soy wax candle. That's fine. Um, so I would say you buy a top competitor on Amazon and see exactly how they did their packaging, and just modify it a little bit, and you should be fine.
This is more of a comment, but from Fatia, from our own experience, I guess we can now say that negotiations don't always work. The factory knows they are in demand, so don't budge on price.
Well, yes and no. It depends on when we say negotiations. It depends on uh, what there's some factories that are very upfront with their pricing. They're like, look, this is the lowest we can sell this product to you. There's some factories that they will, because this is the first time you're buying from them and your quantity is not much, so the quantity and your trade terms and your quality also affects the price. If you want to buy uh, 3,000 units of a product, you're not going to get the same price as somebody who wants to buy 50,000 units of the same product. Of course, the supplier will not sell it at the same price. So yes, you're right, Fatia. In some cases, the supplier may not budge on the price. And number two, it could also be that it's too early to negotiate the price. You might want to wait. That's number two. Number three, you might you might catch the product when the raw materials are already on the way up, or there are market fluctuations, or there are foreign exchange fluctuations. So in those cases, it will not work. The supplier might not budge on his prices because he's going to be hedging his bet against the currency fluctuations. So there are some factors that go into all those things in terms of pricing. And if your supplier doesn't budge on price, and you know you can still get a better price, you can use another supplier to get him to lower his own price too. So you can go to another supplier, source the same product, get the pricing from them, get the quotation sheet, and then take it to the other supplier and say, look, I just got a lower price. Can you match it so we can continue with this conversation? And in most cases, they can say, yes, okay, we'll match that price and then go. So there are tons of ways to negotiate. There's not only one way of negotiation. That's why when the sourcing, my sourcing course is out, you will see that I delve really well into different negotiation tactics. And we're also going to be doing a lot of community calls or community chat, so that if people have questions like this, I can always give them some pointers on things. Like, let's say you use all the marketing, all the negotiation, all the negotiation tips and tricks, and it still didn't work. We might come up with some customized one. Maybe your supplier was watching my show. But thank you so much, Fatia.
All right. Also, just a quick reminder. So this is a HONU Live. This is from HONU Worldwide. If you're enjoying today's session, if you want to watch more of them, you can check out our YouTube channel, HONU Worldwide. Or I also recommend liking and following HONU Worldwide on Facebook. And so you'll get all the updates when we go live the next time. So we go live every 2 weeks. The next one will be January 19th. I believe that's the Wednesday. But we'll move on to the next question. And from Preston, question from a new person sourcing products. What do you think about sourcing low quality, high volume products versus high quality, low volume products? Seems the lower quality option has less risk of losing investment while figuring out all the necessary steps of sourcing products.
Well, I wouldn't say the lower quality option has less risk of losing investment. You have to also realize that, Preston, the lower quality products and higher volume products also would mean higher competition for you. So if you're buying low quality, high volume, your MOQ, which is your minimum order quantity from your supplier, will be high. That means you're risking a lot of money to buy low quality, high volume products. And you're going into a water infested with sharks because you're selling almost a Me Too product. Your competition will be severe in those waters, right? But if you go with the higher quality, lower volume, at least you can test 50 units without having so much capital risk. So I would say just tread softly, Preston. Just I wouldn't say one is better than the other, but definitely low quality, high volumes products, they do attract high competition as well. They do attract high competition. Higher quality, low volume, expensive products, they do have lower competition, and they do have lower MOQs in many cases. So personally, I'll go for higher quality, low volume rather than high volume, lower quality. That's just me. There's some people. I just heard about a guy yesterday who just sold his Amazon business for over $100 million, and he was selling high volume, low quality, and he's making like 10 cents or 20 cents on every sale. But it moves volume. It moves like maybe 1-2 million units a month of some product. So if that's the kind of market you like, yeah, go for it. That's fine. But I don't think there's a rule of thumb that one is riskier than the other. You just have to tread into that waters carefully as you're going in, Preston.
Okay. From Fatia, after the initial first orders, have you ever switched factories to get better pricing?
Yes, I've done it before. Unless unless your quality is really good and it's just not worth it to save 20 cents or 30 cents. There's some products that I don't bother to change my supplier over 20 cents because the quality is just so good. I like the quality that I'm willing to pay because I don't want any headache or I don't want to have any sleepless night over something breaking just because I switched to another supplier that couldn't match the quality, or that's it. The, the supplier and that you've used before is better than a new one that you haven't used before. It's something Fatia posted just now, something about 1 million something.
Oh, she's sorry. What is this product that sells 1 million a month?
Oh, it was from the way the guy told me, it was holiday product. It was a festive product. Product. Yes, in Fatia, you'll be surprised there are a lot of products that sell, 5, 10,000, 200,000, 10,000 pieces a day. I've seen them before.
All right. Also, if you have any suggestions for future topics, Fatia gave us one, how to get the best freight shipping prices.
Okay.
So we can definitely touch on that. But if
We can
anyone
touch on
else has
freight
any
and shipping.
other topics, let us know. We do have about 3 more questions, so we can go through those and then wrap this up. From Preston, when researching products like the candle example, do you also have to research if the item is trademarked or has patents on the product?
Well, that's a good one. There's no way for you to know on Alibaba or global sources whether something is trademarked or not. The best way to know a trademarked. Oh, do you also have to research if the item is trademarked? Well, I'm trying to understand if you're saying, Preston, that can you know if the item is trademarked or not from your research? Is that what you're saying? Or if you know.
I think so. You find this candle holder that you want to use, and you're looking for it, and you want to go with it. Is there a risk that that product is trademarked?
Oh,
and has
yeah.
patents on it?
Yes.
And he doesn't want to jump into something if it already has patents or trademarks.
Good one, Preston. Good one. So yes, I would advise that you will check out any patent or trademark. That example that I gave, because there's so many sellers making it. You saw how it was on Alibaba, that there were so many sellers selling it. I doubt if that one is patented. I think it's just one factory that came up with it or something. But it's always good to check on something to make sure they're not trademarked or patented. So you can go to uspto.gov, uspto.gov to excuse me, to search to make sure that they're not patented already. Or if the seller puts in there patent pending or patented product, or you can also talk to the supplier if this is their original design. When you find a supplier on Alibaba, there is a way you can ask them if it's their original design, if you're free to sell it. They will say, yes, we designed it, it's our design. Then you're okay to do it, to search it. to sell it. If not, yes, it's a good idea to search to make sure you're not about to start selling a trademarked item.
Okay, and two more questions. One, what do you think could happen regarding shipping prices after Chinese New Year? Will they still be the same?
Yes, they will still be the same. I think they will start coming down Q3, Q4 of this year. Because for TIA, look at this way. There's a rush to ship out from China for this whole month of January because the Chinese New Year is coming in February, right? So everybody's rushing. When everybody's rushing, the shipping price goes up. And then the Chinese New Year comes, and then those who couldn't make the ship before Chinese New Year, they want to make the ship 1 month, a week to 1 month after the Chinese New Year. So the shipping price will still be high, but after the whole rush is over, we're already in Q2, and then Q2 between June and July, those are the highest, those are the peak season for shipping. So the moment the shipping comes down in Q2 a little bit, then it goes up again because you're entering into the peak season. The regular normal peak season for shipping is June to August of every year. So I would say after August, then it starts to come back down.
Okay, and last question. These year figures on Alibaba, can we trust that they actually have been trading for the mentioned years? So the years that you said with the one
Good.
like
That's a good one. That's a good one. Based on what they told me at the Alibaba office, they said they take them through, they check their certificate of incorporation, certificate of business, that however long they've been trading, they have to check that. Alibaba says they check all that. So the years of trading or the years of being in business is actually verified by Alibaba. But I do know some of these suppliers are going to do shady stuff, like they're going to take photos of some other people's factory to pretend like it's their factory. It happens. That's why sometimes you can get trade references from them to make sure that they're actually making stuff, or do inspection. Make sure you do inspection on all your products, 100% inspection on your product. Don't just do spot. Just I'll do full 100% inspection on this product before you pay them any balance.
Okay. All right, so I think that answers everything. Again, if there's questions or future topics, let us know in the comment section. We'd love to get to know what you're interested in going into 2022. Also, don't forget to give us those likes, share this out to any friends or family that are interested in sourcing. Let us, and if they want to contact you, Afolabi, how would they do that?
They can contact us at savings@honuworldwide.com. And if you have any question, you have some concerns with your supplier or what you're selling, whatever it is, reach out to me there, or you can reach out to me on Facebook as well. If you have a quick question that you want, pick my brain on, please, reach out to me on Facebook as well. Okay.
All right. So we'll be back January 19th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We hope to see you there. Have a fantastic January. And
bye, everyone.
See you later.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.